When we heard this indicator's name, our collective thoughts went to this and wondered, TLC, HLC, one and the same or not? I dare say that the all-girls group probably did not come up with this. Where have we seen this indicator before? It looked so familiar that we had to go back to some of our other profiles to make sure it wasn't the same one with a different name. We had our Codemeister Niels take a look at the code and was able to verify that, in fact, it was something else, so we pressed on with confidence. When we looked into the author of this indicator, we were met with a rather amusing moniker, which many of you might recognize, even though the spelling is just a tad off. We'll call up the default view, but change the colors to our more recognizable green and red. Looks familiar, doesn't it? So familiar that we can easily recognize it as a below chart, 2 lines cross, confirmation indicator. As mentioned earlier, it looks like 2 other indicators we profiled in the past. On top is the HLC trend, then the ASO or average sentiment oscillator, and finally on the bottom, the Lehman trend. Oh, the default settings? Yes, they are familiar, aren't they? Remember this business? It appears once in a while, but you can just do you and don't worry about it. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get rolling. This week, we'll check out the gold chart, something I don't believe we've looked at. We'll pick it up here with this long after a small flippity flop. Remember, we're looking for crossovers. There wasn't much volatility in the market, but it did manage to move enough in the right direction to pull in the first half of our trade for profit before we got a short signal. Not too bad at that either. The market continues to run sideways, and we had a couple of signals where losses would have been recorded in your journal. No big deal, just keep on keeping on. Now, we'll see what this long does with a handful of bull candles. That was a stupendous trade. Winner all the way. There was a moment when it looked like a crossover would have happened, but had you stayed on, which you should have, you would have squeezed out additional profits before your trail caught up to you and got you out. Without inciting a snooze fest, we just power through those blasé signals because they really don't need much explanation. Just keep track of the trades as they come, win, lose, or draw. That was a journey of epic proportions. We had some crazy price action, which probably would have facilitated a few continuation trades, but this indicator kept you in for a huge run. Kinda cool, don't you think? We had some great runs on the default settings with this pair, plus a few hiccups when the market was decidedly flat. But if you've got a decent algo in place, those hiccups should be few and far between. Remember, never trade with just one indicator. That's a recipe for despair and disaster. We've got the 2019 version in the Stonehill Forex library, so go get it and get working on your own personal motherlode of gold. The link is in the video's description. Blah blah blah. We're not listening no matter how loud you yell. Financial advice just isn't a thing for us, and frankly, you don't need it. We have so many resources, there's bound to be something that you can use. You can do this, and we can help. Our only goal is to help you become a better trader.